morning, Paula.
Morning.
Good morning, everyone. Mikhail, Anastasia, Axel. Thank you very much for being on time. How did you spend your weekends?
It was good.
You look a little bit tired.
It was wild weekend.
Ah.
Went to the bar.
Oh,
Wow.
okay. I hope you're ready for today's session in this
Of course.
We are.
Okay, perfect. So, my name is Alona. I'm working as an F&B supervisor here in the restaurant. And today I'm going to provide you a class on how to handle guest complaints. Okay? You ready?
Yes. Ready.
Let's go. But before we start this topic, I would like to ask you, do you remember our previous session?
Yeah.
Who can tell me the topic of previous session?
So it was about F&B, like organization and laws. We go more deep into laws, what we have.
Perfect, perfect. Who can mention for me laws of F&B? Yes, Mikhail?
But for example, in F&B service, you have the law of FIFO-LIFO. You need to follow up in terms of when you need to put your stocks on first in, first out, or last in, first out.
Perfect. And why do you think it's important to have these laws in F&B sphere? Yes, Paula?
Well, if these laws are created for a reason, so we need to respect them for example, FIFO and LIFO for the security of the food, for salubrity, and to take care of our guests and of our company.
Exactly. Okay, so as you mentioned, it's very important for hygiene as well as labeling, how we provide this food to customers, the service techniques and everything. All these there are different laws and regulations which you need to follow. Absolutely correct. And who can tell me what is FAO, what it stands for?
So it's an abbreviature, as I remember correct. It's like Food and Agriculture Organization that try to cut the hunger and they try to provide like security with the food in all the world.
Okay, perfect. So as I see, you remember previous session very good. Do you have any questions?
No. Very good.
All clear? Okay, perfect. So now we can actually start a new topic, which is handling guest complaints. And we will start with learning objectives, which we're going to cover today. So first of all, we need to discover with you reasons of guest complaints. Where do they come from? Axel, can you tell me what you think about this? Is it important to know the reasons?
Of course, I think it's the most important, because if you don't know, we don't know what answer after.
Absolutely correct. Afterwards, we will know with you the steps and some procedures which we can follow during the actual handling of guest complaints. Because when each employee in this stressful situation know the procedure, it will help a lot and they will feel more confident in trying to look for a solution. As well as for our business, we need to know what is the influence, how it impacts. And it's going to be one of the points which we're going to cover as well during the session. And of course, we will finalize with actions which we need to do and which we don't need to do while the process of handling the guest complaint. Is everything clear?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And for the homework, you had a prerequisite video. It was tipsy video. Did you like it?
Very much.
Okay, perfect. Everyone watched it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, amazing. So now, I just want to check with you, what did you remember from this video? And for this, you will need to connect this Padlet and write 3 key points from the video. But I want you to split into 2 teams. Mikhail and Paula, do you want to work together?
Yes.
Anastasia and Axel, all good work? Okay, perfect. Just let me show you the QR code a little bit bigger, so it's going to be easier for you to connect.
Thank you.
Here it is. All good?
Yes.
Perfect. And now you will have 2 minutes to work in groups to discuss it and to put some tricky points from the video. Okay, you ready? You have any questions about this task?
No.
Okay, so you can start right now.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
What are you doing?
It's just like brainstorming, right?
Yes,
This is
exactly.
good points for the.
What you remember from this video, what caught your attention, and what
Yes,
you would
sir.
like to discuss with them.
Okay.
I think we are finishing.
You finished?
Think so.
Okay. Paula, Mikhail, you're done?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. So now we see all our ideas. Team of Axel and Anastasia, do you want to comment a little bit your points?
Yeah, of course, why not? So, the first things we remember clearly, she said, the girl from the video who is a waitress and explained how to handle guest complaint on her own experience. She said never take it personal because you're gonna have different type of guests and you're still at work, so it can affect your work after. You need to stay professional.
Perfect.
Second thing that we decided to put is keep positive attitude. Same thing. You can have different guests, you can have different complaints, but first of all, it's your job. You need to keep professional, you need to keep going, and second, we never should to show to guests like your bad attitude or that you are sad, disappointed, whatever. You need to give this, positive vibes to guests, even if they are angry and complain. And the last one, make a guest feel that you have listened him and you take care of his problem. So most of the guests, when they complain about something, they want to be listened. So they want that someone care of this problem and start to solve it.
That's very good points. I absolutely agree with you. They are all mentioned in the video and they will help you to have overall understanding of this topic. And you, Mikhail, do you want to read through your points?
Yes, of course. So we say it's all about kind of the same point as Anastasia was saying, but we also add some warning, for example, we always thank for the feedback of the guest.
Amazing, yes.
Just to,
And I see one more, it's apologize.
yes, so
What do you mean?
we try always to apologize when dealing with guest complaint, because even if sometimes it's not for sure, he's not 100% right, but we just try to acknowledge him and to make sure that we understand his problem and we're gonna try to deal as soon as possible.
Amazing answers. I'm very happy with the way you did your homework. So now you understand a little bit what we're gonna discuss today. So let's go back to our presentation. Okay, so we covered with you learning objectives of this session, and the first one is understand the reasons. So can each of you mention one reason which you think is important and where these complaints come from? Paula?
You don't receive the service that you were expecting.
Perfect. Yes, correct. Okay.
Yes, when you didn't get the service you paid for, and you didn't receive what you were expecting to have.
Yes, correct. Paula and you have the same opinion about this. You, Anastasia?
So in my mind it was kind of same thing when expectations not met, right? The guest, he expects something and it's we go about the price, we go about the level of service, we go about the quality of food, for example. Yeah, if we here we talk about breakfast, brunch, and like other food services, but as well, I think what we can mention here sometimes just type of customer who need to complain, and you need to deal with this somehow as well.
Absolutely agree. And you, Axel, what do you think? What is the main cause for you?
Like say the anesthesia, like that totally the same.
Okay, perfect. So let's take a look. So first of all, when our order is delivered later than we expect. So you're absolutely right. It's all about our expectations of our guests. They want to have one thing, but if in reality it differs a little bit, they might complain. So the second one is hygiene standards. When they come to the restaurant and they see that table is not clean or floor, there are some pieces of food, of course they won't be happy, and of course it's going to be the second reason of complaint. The quality of service, the quality of food, the quality of the whole performance is not good enough. So as well we are talking about expectations, they were not reached. When our service staff is not very polite, when they're rude, and when they don't provide the hospitable service. Do you think it's important?
Of course.
Do you pay attention, for example, when you come to the restaurant, do you pay attention a lot for the service which is provided, how the waiter or waitress behave?
Yeah, a lot, especially when you study, like us now, that we have a bit more experience.
We're constantly working.
Yeah.
Even if we're like in our day-to-day and personal life, because we're in this environment, we notice everything. Even you are just sitting and you see like if the setup is or the mise en place is correctly done, you're always there. But I believe that every, like you would say, service mistake can be forgiven if they have if they provide a good service, like a respectful one.
I absolutely agree with this. Have you ever had a situation when you had a very strange complaint?
Yes.
Someone wants to share?
I have one.
Yeah.
From the guest. It was one man, kind of rude, but I mean, fine, he's a guest, he don't say anything bad. I used to work at the bar here, and he asked me to bring him a burger, but instead of the bread, he wanted to put a salad on top.
Okay.
Like, instead of bread.
Interesting.
Okay, he is a customer, he can ask whatever he wants, like in these things. But he were complaining a lot that how it's possible you don't have this option for sportive people, for healthy people and everything. It's so popular everywhere around the world, and I said like, yeah, we don't have it in the menu, but especially for you, we can do this. But he was.
And so the end, it was all good?
Yeah, we bring him his salad with meat. Yeah.
So, as long as guest is happy, we are very happy. Correct?
Yeah.
I also had the situation when it was my first guest actually, when I just started my internship in F&B sphere, and he was the Slavic mentality, so as you know, like facial expressions are without emotions, so I had to deal with this, and I didn't know how it actually works. Maybe all guests are like this, so I was a little bit scared. He was complaining about everything. Food didn't look as he imagined. It was late, weather is not good, so he cannot enjoy the view, he wants to move to another side of the room. So it was quite difficult guest for me, but in the end, when I satisfied all the requests which we had, he was very happy. He was very happy, he said that he really enjoyed his lunch there with us and that he will come once again. So as we can see, if we find the reasons and after we do something with this complaint, we will have a guest which is happy with our service and which he will return once again. Okay? And of course, one very important thing, when we have any hidden cost, extra charges, it's also the reason for complaints. Because when guests are not aware that they need to pay extra for some small things, for example, if you bring a bottle of water and guests are not aware that you need to pay, that will make them angry. Okay. So, do you have any questions about this? Do you think we are missing any of other reasons which might be important?
I think a lot of times like is the emotional factor, like the mood of the client. Like sometimes everything is how it's supposed to be, but just because he's moody and wants to find someone to complain or to fight with, they just come at us, and we need to be prepared also for those type of situations.
Yes, I absolutely agree. This could be mentioned as well. And now, as we covered with you the reasons, we need to know what to do in this situation actually. For example, when you have a situation with a difficult guest, do you follow a specific procedure or is it just pure improvisation?
We have some SOP we need to follow.
Okay.
So you need to adapt each guest to his behavior, to his mood.
Yes, absolutely. But of course, for each person who works in service, it's a little bit of improvisation because you need to feel the emotions of guests, you need to understand the situation, and after you can. So let's go to the approach which will help us to handle guest complaint very fast and very correctly. And this is 5-step process. This process is called BLAST, so that it will be easier for us to remember. I prepared a small on our flip chart here, so we can fill it in. So, each letter of this word BLAST corresponds to a word of action which we need to use during the procedure. The first one is believe. What is belief in guest? What do you think it means?
It means we need to understand, to try to put ourselves in his shoes in this manner.
Perfect. You're absolutely right, Mikhail. That's what actually is written here on the slide as well. So we need to believe our guest. We don't need to think, oh, the guest is lying. No, we accept his or her points of view, and after we manage. So once again, the first step is okay. Good. The second one is listen. It's not just listening. You don't need to stay and stare at guests and wait while guests will finish their complaint. No, we need to have active listening. Can someone explain to me what is active listening? Paula?
Is when you are paying fully attention to our guests. We are taking notes. We are not like we're doing eye contact. We're not looking at someone else. With paraphrase everything that they're saying to check that we are understanding the complaint correctly.
Perfect. So the second step is listen for us. As Paula mentioned, it's very, very important to actually try to understand and carefully listen to all the details. Second one is apologize. As your team mentioned in the very beginning during our Padlet activity, apologies. Even if you don't think that it's incorrect, you need to understand guest point of view and you need to apologize for the situation which you dissatisfied. Oh, second one is apologize. Clear?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, last two steps, it's solve. So actual action. When we receive a complaint, we need to do something with it. And the step of solving this problem is very important. But there is one small note. We're not trying to buy a guest. If you brought French fries 5 minutes after you took an order and guest is not happy, you will not tell the guest, oh, we cover all expenses for this dinner. No, of course not. You just change it, you brought another one, or you apologize, you manage the situation, but you're not buying this. Okay?
Okay.
So what this step mean?
Solve.
Exactly. And the last but definitely not the least, is we need to thank the guest. Because not all guests are taking time to actually mention the problem. They can just write a feedback online that they were not happy and they don't give us time to actually manage this problem and just make their experience be good. So of course in this situation we need to thank the guest for taking the time to tell us about the problem. Okay, so here's our approach. I will just leave it a little bit here, so we will use it for a few activities after. And we are moving to another learning objective of our class. It's the actual impact on our business. Okay, so first of all our customers are very important. Do you know why our guests are important for us and for our business? Axel?
Because
Sorry, Anastasia.
because we need the money.
Definitely.
And
That's the simplest answer. Because guests, they bring for us money, they build our reputation, and as a result, we are functioning only because of our guests. Anastasia, you want to add something?
No, but basically, except said what I want to say is our customers for who we work, because of who we work, and thanks to who we work. So
Absolutely correct. Okay, so there is one principle, it's 1, 10, 100. Do these numbers tell you something? What do you think? If we talk about people, about service, it's just three numbers, 1, 10, and 100. We can also call it snowball effect. You have any ideas?
I would say if you had a bad experience or something like this, you have one person will tell to 10 people, these 10 people, 200, and it's snowball effect. That's
Perfect. Amazing, that's a very correct answer. That's how it actually works. When you have a complaint and you didn't solve it, it's all the time a problem. Because after this bad information and bad reputation will start to spread, and you won't be able to solve it as fast as you could do with one guest. Of course, when we have any negative feedbacks, we never leave them unsolved. You try your best, you propose all variants, and in the end, you can solve it and guests will be happy. So these are three key points which you need to remember, because even one small complaint can affect your business. Okay?
Yes.
So, do you have any questions about this?
Not very clear.
Very clear.
Okay. How else do you think it can impact our business, these complaints? For example, if they are solved. If guests came, it was a big problem, but after you provided an excellent service and found an excellent solution, how it will influence?
Because complaints not only affect negatively, but also it gives us points to improve our service. It's not also the way that we solve it for them, but it's also to acknowledge that we have some things that we need to improve in our business.
Perfect. That's a very good answer, and of course you're right, it can be not only negative, but positive as well. And now we will move with you to the last part of our session, where we're going to cover what we should do and should not do when we handle guest complaint. And we go firstly to our do's. And here we have one more approach which helps us a lot. Because it's easier when you keep one word in your head and you follow this structure. Okay, it will start. And we will use the same technique as in here. Voila. It's very simple. Again, word which we need to follow. First one is sorry. We covered a lot with you that we need to apologize, and we need to say to the guest that yes, we understand your problem, we accept that it's a problem, we are not saying no, it's not like this. Clear?
Yes.
Thank you. I think we covered it as well a lot of times, but who can tell me once again why it's important? Accept?
Because it's the customer said yes and he accept we found some solution, etc. Donc it's very nice. Donc it's important for me to say thank you, monsieur.
Perfect. Okay, the next step is act, so the actual resolution of the problem. And what is recover? What do you think it means?
To recover the trust of the time.
Correct, as it's written here, it's when you propose something extra to a guest so they feel personalized and they feel like their problem was solved and understood, and you're trying your best to solve this problem. Okay? And the last one is share, because it's very important to share with your colleagues so that the situation will never happen again. When you come to your team and you mention that today we had a guest, because of our miscommunication, because we didn't follow up on this, we had this problem, so next time this problem will be improved, these points will be in heads of all your employees, of the whole team, and you will never have the situation again. Clear? Okay, let's list all together. What is the first one? You tell me, I write it.
Sorry.
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 Second one?
Thank you.
Perfect. After?
Act.
Okay.
Recover.
Someone except Mikhail.
Recover.
Recover.
This team is winning.
Yes.
And the last one.
Share.
Perfect. So here's one more approach which we should use during the handle of guest complaint. Okay? All clear with this? Should we move on?
Yes.
Perfect. And of course, what we don't need to do. Let's discuss each point here one by one. We should not manage complaint and make a scene in front of other guests. Anastasia, why do you think it's important?
It's important because, first of all, it's if guests complain, other guests gonna see it as your fault as a restaurant or employee or whatever. So if you make a big thing, anyway, you're gonna be kind of guilty. So, and you don't need to make the other guests who complain to feel bad, because in this way sometimes the guests complain, but they want just to be listened and they want their problem to be solved, but not someone point at them and say, you complain or you don't like something here. I think it's like that.
Exactly. The second one, it's we never ignore a complaint. Even if it's a small thing and like, yeah, I was missing cutlery. Still, you follow all the approaches which we learned with you and you follow up on this problem once and once. Okay? Afterwards, it's we never show to the guests that they bother us with our complaints. Okay? How do you think guests will feel if they would understand that waiter or waitress is bored with their problem?
No, we don't care about them.
Exactly, so we are not hospitable, and even if we'll try to manage their problem after, it won't really work because guest is not feeling welcome. Next one is we never make any excuses. Okay? Do you think it's effective to make excuses?
No. Well, you're not. If you're, but that's not bringing any solution to the client, bro. Like they don't care about your excuses.
Absolutely correct. Some people think that if they will find the reason why the situation happened, they can solve a problem. But no, it's the reputation of the whole hotel. And if you will say, yes, my colleague forgot to bring you water, still, problem is not solved, you blame someone else, and in the end, guest is still not happy. So we don't look for excuses, we follow our procedures, we follow our approaches and structures, so that we apologize, listen carefully, and in the end we'll be able to solve this problem. And the last one, never make promises which you cannot deliver. But if you just work as a waiter and you need to double check with your manager, can this dinner, for example, be covered by the establishment, never say to your guest, oh, it's on us. Because you don't know for sure, and if after you will come to your guest and say, oh no, sorry, my manager didn't let me, it's gonna have a bad impact on the whole establishment and reputation and your business overall. Would you like to add any other don'ts which we don't need to follow?
It's not written there, but I think it's part of the don't make excuses. Is when you start blaming other teams. Like for example, the complaint comes in the front desk, but you say, oh yeah, in the bar, they are not very fast, it's not like this, because we need to understand that even if we are divided in departments, we are all the same team, and it's one reputation for all of us. So just to acknowledge.
Yes, you're absolutely correct. Any other ideas? All clear?
Very clear.
Okay, so now as you know the theory part, it was quite long. We will go to practical mode with you, and we will have a role play. Do you want to be in the same teams as you were before?
Yes, of course.
Okay, perfect. Okay, we will let lady choose a situation. Okay. So, you have a situation where one of you will need to play a role of waiter, and the second one will need to play a role of a customer. You will perform it, and the person who will perform a role of waiter will need to manage this complaint. Okay? You will have 1 minute to prepare, and after each of pair will come here to demonstrate. Okay? Perfect. You have 1 minute, which starts now.
Okay.
first the delay and to take basically to welcome them, and then 30 minutes for the order to arrive. I'm gonna be very angry.
You have a question?
No, no, it's very clear.
Okay. Clear for you?
I think so, yeah. It's a really nice exercise. Thank you.
We need to do a stand up, or we can just do it from the table.
I think it will be better to stand up so you will feel more.
Okay, I'll just sit. I'll sit there and you.
You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Axel, Anastasia, are you ready?
Yeah.
Yes, I see.
Okay, who wants to be the first one?
Yeah, Paula.
Okay.
The
so
art of improvisation.
Go. I will take your place. Just to have a perfect angle to
Ok. C'est parti, Mrs. White.
Ready?
Okay.
Excuse me.
Yes, madam.
Hi, so we arrived 20 minutes ago. No one has welcomed us. We don't have the menus. Anything? Can you help me with that?
Yes, of course, Mrs. White. I understand your frustration by the timing. It was a bit. It took a bit time for the waiter to come. I will deal right now with the situation. If you want, while waiting for the food that comes, can maybe offer you some cocktail just while waiting for it?
Yes, please. Because I didn't expect that the service was going to be so slow, and we just want to be quiet.
Yes, of course. I understand. Again, I apologize. And just today, it was a lot of guests today in the restaurant. But I will make sure the cocktail comes right away, and I will have to make sure the food comes as soon as possible.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Perfect! Your faces. Do you want to comment a little bit on their performance? What do you think?
That was good. Became patient enough. But Paul as well was very nice guest.
Yeah, I feel really guilty when I complain about something, to be honest.
That's very good that you try to follow the STARS approach. You sound very confident. You make sure that Paula will receive her service, Mrs. White, sorry, will receive her service on time with cocktails and food ready. Just next time you can be a little bit more natural. Of course, it's role play, you understand, but try to look more relaxed, more friendly, and it will be just excellent service. Okay, you ready?
Oh, of course.
Okay,
not.
go.
I'm not happy like you.
I'm very lucky.
You sit down.
Excuse me, madam, could you come?
Yes, sir.
Could you check my dish, please? Because I order tacos without meat, and why I have a meat inside my tacos?
Oh no, sir. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm very, very sorry for this. I will check. It's our mistake, and we will change it for you. And additionally, to apologize for our mistake, we will bring you one more dish that will covered by our restaurant. Can we do something else for you to make your experience with us better?
But maybe just if you can check with the dish from my friend, please.
Yes, yes, of
Because
course.
we
Maybe
can't
we
eat
just
meat.
messed.
It's for me incredible. Because
Yes, sir, no worries. We
before.
are very, very sorry. Our restaurant apologizes for this rude mistake. We understand that it's impossible. You requested the vegetarian food without meat. We will check all your dishes at the table, and we will change everything what we need to change. And of course, additionally, we're gonna have a present from our restaurant. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you that you saw it before. We are grateful for your kind of feedback. We will try to improve it in future.
Thank you.
Perfect. Okay, you can sit back. What do you think about their roleplay?
I thought he was going to be more angry.
More rude.
You, because you said I was too nice. I
I
thought
didn't
you
give him time.
That was good.
Fucking
Very rude guest. So that was good that you tried to recover the situation, but be careful with not buying a guest. Okay? because the whole dish, yes, in this situation, as they're vegetarian, it was a good solution, but be careful that you don't overdo in this. Okay? And one more note, don't say kind of feedback, because it sounds too informal.
Okay.
Okay, so I think this role play helped you to know how to behave in some specific situations. And now we'll check the whole knowledge by Kahoot. Exactly. Just give me a second.
Bravissimo.
I see you're very excited. Do you like Kahoot?
I
We
love
love Kahoot.
Kahoot.
Amazing. Okay, so let's start.
The Kahoot team.
Get ready to join.
Nutrition.
Let's put sounds a little bit higher. So it's more energetic.
Yeah, the music makes it better.
Okay. Did everyone connect?
Yeah.
All good? It works?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Can I have some explanations? Yuplabum.
Yuplabo means me, madam.
Yuplabum. Okay. One Piece.
Me?
Bravo. You like One Piece?
Of course. Big fan.
Complain?
No.
Voilà.
You follow this session. Congratulations.
Exactly.
And Mrs. White? Yeah.
This is what it means.
Okay. You ready to start?
Ready.
Okay. Let's go.
Stop looking at my phone.
What?
Multiple answers. One answer. Okay. Just
Polite and caring first.
polite and this is very interesting point. Who put the polite and caring service stuff is reason for complaint?
Show your phones.
Yes.
No, see, because I put answer.
You put
Oh.
all answers. Okay.
Why?
So please be careful next time, and I hope you don't complain when service staff is polite with you and expectations are met.
Yes, I don't understand.
Maybe he was in a bad mood.
Maybe. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Mrs. White, congratulations. Second
Thank
one. So we start with believe and after.
Vas-y. Allez, on essaie.
Okay, all answers are correct. Congratulations. What is the name of this approach?
Blast.
Perfect.
Let's move
That
on.
was fast.
True
Word
or false?
tips. Word tips.
No.
No.
Two answers in a row. Perfect. Let's move on.
Yes.
Who's complain?
Okay. Great. Genius.
What amazing.
I'm very happy that you followed this session, and this whiteboard I think helped you a little bit.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
No.
One more true or false. Amazing. All clear?
Yes.
Very.
Okay. We never look for excuses because it will not solve the problem. Okay, complaints still on the podium. On the top. And the last question is multiple selection. That's a lot of answers. One answer is missing. And
I forget one.
Oh. Which one? But offer something extra to mend your relationship, but before you say like, don't try to buy it.
it's will be part of recover, so it's gonna be a small thing which you propose to a guest. You're not buying a guest by saying that all dinner will be covered. It's just gonna be like small things, so guests will feel like we paid attention to it and solved it. Okay, let's see the results. One piece, third place, congratulations.
Yeah.
Mrs. White, bravo. And complain.
Complaints the first place.
Congratulations. How did you find this Kahoot? It was quite a lot of correct answers, so I think you
Yes.
understood the topic. Do you have any questions about this?
No, it was very clear.
Perfect. I'm very happy with your performance. And we go back with you to the presentation to summarize and finalize all the steps. Just give me a second. I like this music, but we need to close it.
It's a nice music, yes.
Okay. So, who can conclude for me the whole session? Let's start by our learning objectives. What are the reasons and why it's important to know them? Axel?
Oh yes, it's very for me. If I can conclude this very short, I can say that it's very important to listen to the customer, to understand, to say thanks, to find some solution, but never lie. It's very important to don't promise the moon if we can't, and it's very be careful every time when you have a complaint, because the customer is he put the bread in my plate.
Perfect. Perfect answer. I'm really happy about this. Why do you think it's important to train your team to know how to handle guest complaints? Paula?
Well, just like you are doing with us now, it prepares us to face them, because it's not easy to handle complaints. So if you have like steps to follow, having them in your mind is gonna be easier for the approach with the client. Yes.
Absolutely correct. Mikael, how do you think it influences the business? What did you learn from this session?
But it's gonna help us to improve our guest loyalty and to make sure and guest satisfaction also.
Perfect.
It's both matter, and it will at the end all come up to getting more money, getting more cash.
Amazing. Very good answer, correct. And you, Anastasia, which approaches do you remember?
I remember two
Okay.
that we used with you. You show us first one. It's blast. It's basically the steps that you need to follow when you receive a customer complaint. So you need to believe, listen, act.
Who can help?
Solve.
Exactly.
Yeah, solve and thank. And
Amazing.
after we have one more, on the desk, it's stars.
Exactly. Okay, so I see that you understood this session very good. Kahoot and other different activities prove it as well. Do you have any other questions in the end of the session?
No,
Uh,
it's very clear.
Okay, perfect. Next session we're gonna see this you difference between service and hospitality. And this topic will be very correlated, as we will be able to identify what we need to do and how hospital will we need to not only to manage these complaints but as well to provide an excellent service. Okay, good. So, and in order for you to remember this topic and in order for you not to forget about me during the next 3 days before our next class, I will distribute a homework. It's a situation with handout. And you will need to write your answers there on this paper. Next session we'll collect it and I will check it. Okay? All clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Paula. Anastasia.
Thank you very much.
And that's
Oh, thank you.
this one is for you. All clear? Do you have any other questions?
No, very good.
Thank you very much for this session. I'm very happy for your presence and participation. You are very energetic, and I wish you to continue like that. And see you next Wednesday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you.